New Orleans Saints head off to the Windy City off a loss and with a 1-5 record now to take on a Chicago Bears squad riding a 3-game win streak, which comes with a feeling of hope, as scary as that might be for Bear Down faithful.
Kick is good, and the Bears win it.
One team's trash is another team's treasure. Jake Moody should be drinking and eating for free anywhere he goes in Chi-Town this week. Now the Bears try and build off their fortuitous Monday night win to run their win streak to 4. They still have yet to really play up to their potential in theory. Caleb Williams, for example, a touchdown, no picks, rate close to 100 versus Washington, ran for a TD, solid on paper.
Caleb takes it, gets a block from Swift, and is in for the touchdown.
But if you saw the game, you saw that stat about him leading the NFL in off-target throws. Hasn't completed 60% of his passes in back-to-back games. Chicago was just 3 for 10 on third down versus the Commanders, 1 for 3 in the red zone. Moody having to try 5 field goals is not ideal. He made 4 of them, which accounted for half their points basically.
Pass is tipped off the hand of Luvu. Commanders ball.
25 points per game is still 10th best. Ben Johnson's plan is working, but could work better is all. Saw a Bears fan comment, just want to win games because of Caleb, not because of fumbles and DeAndre Swift. Was a good week to be a Swift, I guess. Man, does he come in hot. Last week, his 2025 breakout turned an out route into a 55-yard TD through the air.
And still going. DeAndre Swift veers into the end zone.
And against a Washington defense that was holding backs under 4 a carry, 108 yards, 7.7 per carry, just gashed him over and over.
Here's a toss to Swift. Man, does he have a lot of room to run.
Gets another defense tough on running backs this week. Saints holding the position to 3.7 a carry, 5th lowest.
Little misdirection, but the Saints defense not fooled.
Playing the run well hasn't translated to good overall defense, though. Gave up 25 points to New England, have allowed 25 plus 4 of the last 5, which is basically what they've given up over 6 games.
Feeling the pressure, taking a shot, he's got his man, it's Pop Douglas.
The secondary Caleb faces gave up 260 yards to Drake May, 3 touchdowns, a 140 rate. They've allowed a 111 rate for the year. Only 2 teams have given up higher, a 69.5 completion rate allowed, 14 touchdowns given up, second most.
Takes a shot down the field. It's Booty. Touchdown.
Maybe they relate to Sir Mix-a-Lot. They were weak in the knees facing Booty, giving up 93 yards and 2 touchdowns to Kayshawn, 71 yards and a TD allowed to Demario Douglas, a 109 rate allowed to wide receivers in 2025, only 5 teams having more trouble with wideouts. Chicago's wide receiver trio, Rome Odunze cooled off to 32 yards in their win, DJ Moore with 42.
Quick throw DJ Moore behind the line of scrimmage and a catch and run for a first down.
And rookie Luther Burden with 51, his second best outing so far.
Over the middle, it's Burden. Luther Burden makes a move after the catch.
Saints pass rush, just 1 sack of May for a measly yard. Williams dropped 3 times by Washington, most he'd taken since week 2.
And now Williams gets sacked by Armstrong. Boy, what a turn of events for these Bears.
Matchup the other way around. Have a Saints offense that couldn't crack 20 on the scoreboard in their loss, have only scored 21 plus once, 3 for 9 on third down, only 2 red zone trips, averaging 18 points per game on the year. Bottom of the totem pole kind of stuff.
Rattler towards the end zone. Boy, Olave had a chance.
Spencer Rattler behind the wheel. He wasn't terrible versus New England. 20 for 26, 227 yards, a rate over 100, 99 plus rate back-to-back games.
There's a strike over the middle on a crosser. It's Olave.
0 INTs in his last 3, but only 1 game with more than 1 touchdown. Just hasn't been able to propel them to anything special. Chicago's secondary could offer a chance for him to do that. They came up with a big pick versus Jaden Daniels.
What up, bro?
Also gave up 3 touchdowns to him, over 8 yards per attempt, a rate close to 120. Now 24th in rating allowed at 103, second highest completion rate allowed at 73.
End zone, Moore, spinning try, touchdown is the call.
Bears D gave up 24 points, giving up 28 a game now, only 5 teams giving up more. They did at least come up with 3 turnovers, 2 fumble recoveries on plays Washington couldn't hold on to the ball, only let them in the red zone once.
Ball's on the ground, and that is takeaway number 3.
Finished with a season-high 3 sacks. That brings their season total to 8, just 2 teams with fewer. Secondary gave up 43 yards and a touchdown to Zach Ertz, 46 yards and a TD to Chris Moore, 3 20-plus yard passes allowed, only 1 Saint wide receiver with 28 or more yards last week. Chris Olave, with a season-high 98, has 6 catches or more in 5 of their 6 games.
Some heat coming up the middle. Rattler on phase. He's got a man wide open. It's Olave.
Rashid Shaheed, 4 catches, 28 yards. Brandon Cooks, 21 yards.
Fresh.
Tight end Juwan Johnson, 15. And Alvin Kamara, 45 yards through the air, also his season high.
Pull back and throw. First down. It's Kamara finding an opening.
Kamara, 31 yards, 3.1 yards per carry on the ground, under 3.5 per run, 3 of his last 4. Bears defense has struggled versus running backs this year, but not last week, holding Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt to 61 yards, 3.6 a carry.
A toss to Krosky-Merritt, and well played.
Daniels gave him the most trouble as a runner, 52 yards on 5.2 a scamper.
Steps through trouble, still, and a first down.
This is an AI-free zone, everyone. Nothing artificial and certainly nothing intelligent about Game Preview Guy Productions. Okay, well, at least you got that part right, idiot.
What do you think this is? What is a grown man game?
Who Dat has won the last 8 meetings in a row against the Bears. Got to go back to 2008 for the last Bears win. It was a fun one, though.
On a clear night in Chicago, you can still see the playoffs, but from the start, all eyes were on Daniel Manning.
Daniel Manning at the 17, running right, 25-30, hits a crease, he's going!
Chicago native Pierre Thomas, number 23, returned home with 2 gift-wrapped touchdowns.
Down to the 15, then 5, touchdown!
But Chicago forced overtime and brought the Saints crashing back to earth.
Going deep, going from Devin, adjusted incomplete, but a marker flies inside. Placement made, Brad Maynard, kick to the uprights, Robbie goal! Playoff hopes are still alive.
Man, look how they got us, CJ. They trying to jinx us with everybody picking us, man. Oh man, great intro, man. Welcome, man. Hold on, man. Before we get into it, man, I gotta introduce the fellas, man. CJ and the guys, man. I gotta introduce the fellas. CJ, how you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good, man.
Man, how's your week so far, man?
My week has been pretty good. Therapy was pretty good. Everything was pretty good this week. I can't complain.
I love to hear it. Let's give my man CJ a round of applause. What's going on, Shad? Shad, how you feeling, big dog? You know what's going on to the 14 people in here right now, man. This is the CNG Podcast pregame show. Man, we appreciate everybody that's in here right now, that's tuning in. It's still kind of early. You know, it's 10:22 Central Time, 11:22 Eastern Time. But, you know, we're going to get up here and we're going to give you guys a pregame show, man. So this is what we're doing right now. It's me, CJ, and we're going to introduce my guy, my dog, man. It's becoming almost a 4th member to the CNG Podcast. And we're going to let this man introduce himself, man. It's Shad from the South Side, from Shad Sports, man. How you doing, bro? Oh, he done dipped out on us, man. He'll probably be back. He probably having a couple of technical difficulties, man. So CJ, man, so how you been, man? We waiting on Alan to get in here. But how you been this week, man? We 3-2, bro. We 3-2. Hold on, there goes Shad right there. Shad, you good, bro?
In the building.
In the building, man. This is our guy right here, man. He's been nothing but an asset to the team right now, man. We appreciate you coming on, man, and chopping it up with us every week, man, and to stand on pregame shows and postgame shows. But I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's the word? CNG pregame, Bears Saints. It's your boy Shad on Sports coming back. Appreciate being here. We definitely gonna break it down the right way, and you can find me on any of the social media platforms with Shad on Sports or Shad from the South Side. You heard him. Get this man a round of applause.
So with that being said, we got the gang in here, man. The gang is in here right now, man. We just missing one person, but man, before we get into the game today, man, how did y'all feel about the game versus the Commanders, man? We didn't really get a chance to. We did talk about it in the post-game show. We did do a post-game show. But what's your feelings on that win, and what were your initial thoughts, man? Last year it was the Hail Mary catch, but this year it seemed like it was the fumble from Jaden Daniels, man. We ended up winning that game. It was sloppy. The elements played a part. The rain. It was tough, man. You had Moody come in and kick every field goal that we needed to win that game. But overall, we win, man. It's not the cleanest game. It's not the cleanest thing on offense or deep. It's Caleb Williams and all this other stuff going on. But just what were your thoughts, Shad, on that game, particularly before we get into the content?
Man, back-to-back 25, 24 games, man. I don't know if my blood pressure can take this for 17 weeks, bro. But for the most part, I'm looking at the situation where the Bears, after a bye week, got a dub. That's the first thing I'm looking at. That's the last thing I'm going to stand on. Everything in between was a little shaky, if you want to be honest about it. Offensively, it was good to see the offense get the run game rolling. Over 4 yards to carry, some chunk plays. They got a couple screens off the Swift, so it was very impressive to see that O-line, which had question marks going into the game, perform up to what you hope to be the standard moving forward. The quarterback was a little bit inconsistent over the 4 quarters of the game, but when the plays needed to be made, he made them. So from that standpoint, give a check mark to your young QB, and 18 did a good job on the road against Jaden Daniels and not make the big mistake in the 4th quarter that costs your team the dub. Defensively, what can I say? This was a Dennis Allen game. His imprint was mostly impactful because his adjustments on the offensive scheme, trying to not only stop Jaden from taking over, but being aggressive and allowing them to continue this takeaway game that they've had three in a row, I believe, with 3 takeaways, interception, fumble combinations. So that's very impressive on the road, especially when you need those takeaways to give your offense that's been struggling short fields and more opportunities to get points on the board. So shout out to Jake Moody. That's my thoughts on that game.
CJ, just what's your thoughts, man? I'm gonna just ask you the same thing. Just what's your thoughts on the game overall, man? I mean, the win is a win, but we got to eventually turn some corners, whether it's be the less penalties, better quarterback play. You know what I mean? So just what's your overall thoughts on that win, CJ?
I mean, it wasn't the greatest win, but it was a good comeback. The Bears fought through all the adversity that they had during the game, and they pulled it out. That's what you want to see. What can they do when times get tough? And they've been showing that for the last couple of weeks. They've been able to pull these wins out, and do it in an exciting fashion. Mm-hmm. So it's been great to see.
Yeah, man. Like I always say, we're not always going to get out here and beat teams by 3 scores and 4 scores and 28-10 and 35, especially in the first year. So to me, I think it's very important, like I've been saying before, that it's important that you learn how to win ugly. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're going to have to learn how to turn the corner to where you can get your offense off the field quicker, so your defense can dominate quicker, so you guys can score points quicker, so that way you can get into your more sets, your plays. You don't have to play survival football. Like, I don't want to see consistently us having to play survival football. I want to see us playing relaxed. We're scoring football. You know what I mean? All these close games are cool because it is growth in it. But on the flip side of winning games like this, it can always come back and bite you in the ass when you're actually playing better teams, complete teams, better quarterbacks, better defenses. So we don't look like what we had a game to where we were playing against the Lions the first, the second game of the season, and we lose. We got beat by like 30 points. They beat us. They put a 50 burger on us. So for me, that watching the Commanders game, it was great that Caleb got his revenge and Tyreek Stevenson and the defense showed up and Dennis Allen did what he needed to do. Fumbles are part of the game. Turnovers are part of the game. Caleb didn't make any interceptions. He didn't fumble the ball, but Jaden Daniels did. He threw 1 interception and he had a crucial fumble at the end of the game. So so football sometimes, a lot of times, come down to turnovers. Who controls the ball? Who has less turnovers? And that is what happened. We didn't have as many turnovers as them. But the penalties are killing our progress to sustain drives. It's killing our progress to sustain drives, and so we can see Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and his offense be better for an extended period of time. The run game is coming alive. It was nice to see DeAndre Swift get out there and be the bell cow that we needed in that game. over 100 rushing yards, and he always plays well against the Commanders. So he did it again. So it was almost a complete game, but there's so much left to be, I would say, admired and desired for. You know what I mean, Shad?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Definitely got some meat on the bone. You know, when you order a 20-wing spicy, you don't want to get shorted on the burger. So for me, when we go on the road after a bye week, I was hoping to see a little bit more clarity, a little bit cleaner of a game. The penalties didn't necessarily stop to the rate that I would have liked it, and the aggressiveness offensively wasn't to the level that I would have liked. We did get to see a little bit Coach and Loveland in terms of Burton, both of them getting acclimated with more snaps than projected. So that's something I'm hoping we build off at home. Last time we went home, we got a flea flicker big play from Burton. So it wouldn't be, against the grain for Ben Johnson to dial up another shot play. But I know we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, man, you got it. And then we got shout out to Dying to Live, man. This guy's he's been locked in with us for a long time on Twitter. You posted the stream. We say Streak Watch. Always looking forward to the CNG podcast on game day, man. We appreciate you having you in here, brother. He says we are due for a win that's not close or come down to the fourth. As much as I feel this is a trap game, I think we've seen even better version of this team today. And I'm gonna speak on that. Looking forward to a good ground game today. I was hoping Booker would be back today, but it's all good. Yeah. Just to your point about this being a trap game, I don't think we're good enough to be considered a trap game. We've been on the road for 2 straight weeks. This isn't a trap game to me personally. I don't know how the fellas feel about that, but to me, we're not that diamond of a team. We're not prime. The Saints, not the Saints, but the Chiefs. We're not the Eagles last year, so I don't think this is a trap game. So, CJ, do you feel like this is a trap game, man?
No, not necessarily, because all the Bears gotta do is keep doing what they've been doing for weeks. Find different ways, to win the game. Whether it be your offense stepping up and running the ball, whether it be your defense, your defensive front, stepping up and getting sacks, stepping up and getting pressure. Just figure it out.
Yeah. So Shah, we're gonna go, piggyback off of this. Like, do you think this is a trap game?
The New Orleans Saints are 1-5 in the NFC South. Chicago Bears are currently 3-2, tied in the division for the 3rd spot. You have to win a home game against this team. That's what this game is. This is a statement win opportunity for not only Ben Johnson, but for the entire roster. If it's a complete phased game, special teams, offense, and defense, you should easily handle the New Orleans Saints and take care of business on your home field. Because the elements look like they might be favorable. So I love a little Chicago football early.
All right. And we're going to get into one more comment, man. We got my boy Alec Baldwin on Facebook, man. He always pulls up every show, every pregame show, man. We appreciate you sliding, bro. Bring your thoughts, bring the vibes, man. Share it, repost it, quote it. But let's get into this game today. Let's start off talking about quarterback play, man. And we pretty much got into it a little bit, man. I put it on the page, he's completing 61% of his passes. I don't know if that's necessarily him, but I do know the penalties are holding us back a little bit. We can't sustain drives. Caleb Williams needs to be a little bit more accurate to me. He's at 61%. He needs to be a lot better, man. I'm going to say 64 to 65, 66%. That's what he needs to be. That's probably, like I said, shout out to Sarah from the Bears Wire. She actually told me that, man. But he need to be better, man. Like, he just needs to be better today. I want to see him actually sustain the drive, man. Like, actually be accurate, man. Actually look at the players running across his face. He tends to have options all the time, but he just lets them run past his face, man. Like, and he doesn't pass guys the ball. He just don't do it. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't take the check down pass enough to me. So I want to see him improve that today. I want to see at least 65% completed pass today, Shah. So just what's your thoughts on Caleb Williams, man, so far during this win streak? Do you think we're winning because of him? Or do you think that he's just a part of the winning? Like, what's really going on with Caleb right now? Is he the reason we're winning? Or he's just a part of the system? Like, do you want to give him his flowers on some things and some things he need to be better at? Just what's your thoughts?
Man, in the young offense, man, right now in the first quarter of the season, you got to give more credence to Ben Johnson's offense and his scheme. I think because of the deficiencies at a few different spots on this roster offensively, and you're still seeing the growth and the development of some of your young components at important positions, then you got to give more credit to the coach. 18 has blossomed primarily because of the system. I don't think he's played well consistently in 3 straight games yet. So we still got to have a wait and see component to his development. You have seen some improvements in terms of the small nuances of the game. There's still question marks considering the week off of the Troy Aikman fiasco about leadership and off the field situations with Caleb. But in terms of me, when people say he's missing layups, when he's not taking the layups, what that means is when opportunities are there for them to get intermediate completions in the pass game, they're not getting completions. Whether it's a situation where you're not on the same page with your receiver and the depth and the timing of the route, or you're being late or you're being early. It's just not there. The maturation within the pocket, you're starting to see him go to the right spots, but he's not getting accurate because his feet are not mirrored with his brain yet. You see his most comfortable player still when he's moving out the pocket or when he's evading the rush. That's when he's been great. That's when he's been special. So let's not get it twisted. Until we get him consistent in terms of having snaps under the gun from the pocket, we got to wait on this kid, man. His accuracy is going to struggle. Spencer Rattler on the other sideline right now is at 68% a clip. What that compares you to is Ben Johnson said he wanted 70% in this offense from his quarterback.
Right. He did. And he definitely did say he wanted 70%. And you got a guy that's at a 68% clip. So shout out to Bobby from Cognac Boys and Chicago Bears Central. He said, fellas, what's the word, man? We just chopping it up, man. You know how we roll, bro. It's just a pregame show. So Bobby, if you're here, man, bring your thoughts and concerns, man. Bring the vibes, bro. Repost it, share it, quote it, whatever. But the fourth member of the CNG podcast has just stepped into the building, man. We're gonna give him a minute to get his cameras and everything together, man. So Alan, whenever you're ready, bro, you want me to leave the camera on you right now? You good, big dog?
You good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Oh, yeah, you can leave it. Yeah, I'm going to turn it. Well, you can go ahead. I'm gonna come right back on.
All right, cool. So CJ, man, same thing to you, man. Like Caleb at this point in his time, man, is 3-2. You got to get a quarterback credit. You know, he's not turning the ball over, man. Like I always said about Caleb Williams, he has a rare skill set of pretty much not turning the ball over, man. Like that's something you got to be kind of born with to me. Like he don't throw too many interceptions, you know what I'm saying? But it's a gift that he doesn't do that. But there's still things to his game to where he just needs to improve in the intermediate game, like Shad said.
Your offense going. You know, I just don't want to see too much hero ball today from him. You know, I don't want to see too many deep passes when they're not really there. I thought he forced 2 passes last week, especially that one to Roman Doomsday. You know, when he had 2 defenders on him.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that this game.
Yeah, I see, but we got the fourth member of the CNG podcast in here, man. The third member, we got the OG Allen here, man. We gonna get his thoughts and everything, man. So, you know, before we do all of that, man, we're gonna give him his grace and let him introduce himself, man. So, Allen, man, welcome to the show, man. Great to have you, man. So, talk to the people, man. Let them know who you is, big dog.
What's up, guys? This is Allen, man. Running with the CNG podcast today. Just talking little Bears, man. So, I'm grateful for being here today. So let's talk Bears.
You heard him. So we got everybody's point, Allen, man. We kind of went past the Commanders game. You can talk about the Commanders game if you want to. But what thing we're talking about right now is Caleb Williams, man. He's at a 61% completion rate right now, and that is off the mark of what Ben Johnson wants him to be. I think he needs to be a little bit better in completing his passes, man. I think in order for us to really be a better team, he has to be better at throwing the ball, man. I know it's a lot of factors of the reason why he's not throwing the ball. One, I think one of the main reasons is the penalties, man. We're not seeing drives sustain long enough for him to get his percentage rate up. So with that being said, just what's been your thoughts on Caleb Williams so far, and what do you think he needs to do today to be that upper echelon passer as far as completed percentage outside of penalties from the offensive line and things of that nature?
Well, I think Caleb, well, I can't say I think, just following him for the last couple of years, Caleb is a chunk quarterback, and meaning that he likes to push the ball down the field. So that's what he loves to do, and that's kind of his art, that he wants to get the ball 15, 20 yards down the field with. He has a very strong arm, and the pass CJ just mentioned, that was one of the longest passes, I think, and thinking metrics. I was looking at something last night. He threw it like 66 yards in the air to Rome Odunze. You know, that type of talent is something that is elite, but it's the short intermediate throws he's got to continue to work on with. That's what NFL is really coming down to, is the intermediate throws, because those are throws that are working the zone. Because the NFL defensive coordinators are very smart. They're going to take away the deep pass because it's the quickest pass to the end zone. So if you get the zone working and moving the zone, Caleb is struggling with the zone. When you're in man coverage, he's eating that alive. Right. But it's the zone coverages that's making him work downfield and making him process the game is what he's still working on. And a lot of young quarterbacks struggle with zone coverage anyway. But he keeps working on that. We keep working those intermediate throws, taking the short throws. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's kind of what he needs to keep working on. And Ben wants him to get the ball out. But if you got a guy that loves to throw the ball 15 yards downfield, he's always trying to keep that pass alive. Sometimes the receivers you got, because I watched on film, some of these guys are not recognizing the fire drill. So Caleb is taking sacks that he shouldn't be taking because guys are not turning their numbers to him. So right. It's a little bit of everything. Why his completion percentage is not. It's some of Caleb. It's some of the receivers. I think the offensive line, for the most part, has been solid. It's just right now the receivers, wide receivers, tight ends, and Caleb have to get on board and understand basic concepts in football. When your quarterback's in trouble, show him your numbers. But that's the only person I see that does this, Rome and Cole Kmet. Cole is good about showing his numbers. He's such a big target, he gives Caleb that alleyway. But the rest of the guys on the team, they still trying to find that understanding of what do I need to do during these times when Caleb's in stress behind the line of scrimmage.
Man, well said. We got Bobby right here saying this is football. Well, let's see if we continue to run the rock. So Shad, you got anything to add on to anything that Alan said right here about Caleb?
No, I mean, the development is something we have to have a patient eye when we talking about him game to game, because here go the thing, it's not going to change week to week. It's really like chunks at a time. I look at him in three pockets, like give me 3 games of him at a time, and then let's talk about his development. One thing that I'm pissed off about is he misses the deep shots. These are the problems that I have with him within the offense, because Ben Johnson's dialing up guys to get open deep, and he's missing them. Now, his receivers have failed him a few times, DJ Moore, Zacchaeus, and even Rome. But in terms of the shot plays that are there, he hasn't been accurate down the field enough for me to feel comfortable that he sees it down the field. We know he got the arm strength, but some of the same hindrances that Trubisky and Fields had is in terms of knowing when to take that shot down the field, knowing when that defensive secondary is aligned for you to be able to make that throw regardless of who's back there in the coverage. You know, he's seeing a lot of cover 3, man, but they're disguising it. And I think that's making him late down the field. And I think DJ Moore is he's the one that's taking a step back because of that. Okay.
We got Bobby saying I would say it's more of the layup throws to me. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just becoming an issue. I mean, because like I said, you can't leave your plate with food on it, man. Like eventually it's going to bite us in the end. So we're going to see who Caleb Williams really is, man, in a couple more games, or maybe next season he'll be better. He's still a young quarterback. This is not a diss to Caleb Williams. This is just us talking about the game today what we want to see him be better at. So far, it's the intermediate throws. It's been the layup according to Bobby. It's the deep passes according to Shad. So we're saying layups, we're saying deep ball, we're saying intermediate passes. That's damn near every phase of quarterbacking, man. So Caleb, man, to me, what you need to do today is the layups. That could be an intermediate throw. It could be a screen pass. It could be anything, man. Just make sure that you're accurate today. The weather's going to be better today. Don't get frustrated, Caleb. Keep your head in the game. Listen to your coach. But we heard that he told you to shut the fuck up in the headset. I actually thought it was a referee, but somebody told me that he was actually telling Caleb to shut the fuck up. And the reason why that I could see Ben Johnson saying that, because maybe, CJ or Allen, he was getting a little rattled. A lot of times when I'm watching Caleb Williams play, he begins to unravel, man. Like his focus begins to unravel mentally. And then what happens is his feet become unraveled, his arm become unraveled. So he has to learn how to compose himself, get his emotions under control, get his energy under control. So I just think that Caleb, he just has to understand that you got to play within yourself, play within structure, and understand that everything is there for you to take, man. And just take advantage of opportunities early and often. Don't overthink it, bro. Just make sure your arm is ready, and just make sure your receivers are where they need to be and communicate to your guys, man. You got to have a clean game today, man. Make a statement game today, Caleb. Be better at every aspect of quarterback, intermediate, deep, and short passes today, man. Let's see if you get a drive once. 8 for 9, 9 for 12. And I think if the offensive line is good overall, we might see Caleb with a drive where he actually goes 10 for 12 or something good like that. But we got Bobby with another comment saying, shout out to Brian Wilson. He said, I don't know what you guys think about this, but the Tide's going to bite the Packers in the ass for our beloved Chicago Bears to win the North Division. What do you think about that, Shad? But then I'm gonna get Bobby. Said to Shad's point though, his feet continue to be married with timing and his accuracy. Yeah, that's true. I'm just glad he doesn't fumble handoff. Yeah, man, we glad he don't fumble handoffs, man. He just got to be better overall, man. I think he will today. So anybody want to speak on this comment right here? Shad, CJ, you're gonna bite him in the ass, man. That tie against Dallas, it might bite him in the ass. But I don't know. We got to get past the Vikings. We got to get past Detroit for us to win the North, bro. We got a long way to go.
It's definitely a long road. That crooked number, though, is always awkward towards the end of the year, man. We get them 2 times in 3 weeks, so it might be an irrelevant situation if we get the sweep this year.
All right. Now, we're going to talk about a bright spot, somebody that's been getting a lot of flack from a lot of people and a lot of the fan base. He can't do this. He can't do that. He don't see the whole well. He don't have good burst sometimes. But DeAndre Swift consistently seems to me, CJ, that he's gotten better every game. When he's there when you need him most. That's what I've seen so far with DeAndre Swift, man. When he's there when you need him most, when you've been pounding the rock all game, and then boom, in the fourth quarter, he's giving you 8 yards, 7 yards, 9 yards. He's just killing. So he had a great game against the Commanders. So CJ, man, I think Ben Johnson wants to run the ball, smash mouth football. He's trusted DeAndre Swift a lot. And he's coming and he's actually paying off dividends, man. So I expect another performance, man, of DeAndre Swift being good today, man, on the run game side. CJ, what you think, bro? Your mic, CJ, your mic.
You know what's funny, guy? When people were talking about DeAndre Swift not being a Ben Johnson guy, that Ben Johnson got rid of him, when he came to the Lions. But you got a more mature DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
And back who does, who seems like he's in the prime of his career right now, where he's doing everything. I mean, catching the ball after the run, getting to the end zone, running the football well. So this is probably the best I've seen him look, since he's been with the Eagles. So you got DeAndre Swift, who's like he can do more. Like he's more valuable to the offense. You're not seeing a running back just continuously to go down. Every time he gets hit, it seems like he's always on his feet. It seems like he's a different type of running back. And that's the feel that I'm getting from him in these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. Well said. We got Donald Lewis, and I love the fact that Swift is even killed. He doesn't get too high, too low, and it's paying off. And I hope we see more of that today. And he actually gave a shout out to CJ saying facts at CJ. We appreciate you, bro. So, Allen, man, your boy Swift, man, because we've talked about him a lot, bro, even giving them the negative vibes, the negative narratives about how he's been playing. But has he flipped or turned the tide to you these last 2 weeks or these last, 5 games? Like, what have you seen that's been so good about DeAndre Swift so far this season, man? Because I'm starting to trust him a little bit more as the season goes along, you know?
Yeah, but listen, when you got Eric Bieniemy as your running back coach, you're going to get your ass in gear anyway. Eric Bieniemy is one of them dudes, man. Like, y'all remember how he used to treat Adrian Peterson. So I can only imagine how he treats the other guy. So he's very detail-oriented, and he wants you to run the same way. You know how jump shooters don't change their shots from 5 to 25 feet? Their shots look the same. That's how running back play should be. Your eyes and your motions should be the same every time. When you get back there and you MC Hammer and you ain't trying to find your holes, you know, and you're not hitting them as quick as you need to, that throws off the run game because the inside zone is predicated on time. They want you to get one cut, get upfield, get your ass behind the damn guard, and get in between the linebacker and the line of scrimmage. That's the goal. So he was not doing that. So now during the bye, Ben said, you know what? Let's focus on getting him outside the tackle. And that adjustment helps our guy Swift, because Swift is a guy that plays better in space. He's not a downhill runner like we would want, but that's okay. He's all right outside the tackles. And when he gets matched up on linebackers that you see on that touchdown pass against Washington, he's a major threat. So used properly by the coaching staff, he's going to be a great version of himself. But if we run him like he's Eric Dickerson, he's not going to last long. So that's what we need to focus on, what's good for Swift and the offense. And Kyle Monangai really did a good job hitting the holes that Wednesday night, softening up the defense. When it was time to run those sweeps, they were all out of gas. You could see the Washington players getting fatigued that his game was getting longer, and Swift was looking a whole lot faster than the Washington defense.
Yeah. So Sha, man, what do you got to add on to this running back take with DeAndre Swift, man? And what have you been impressed with, man? And he's just been, like I say, he's starting to earn my trust a little bit more, man, the last few weeks. And I guess you got to give credit to that, like Alan was saying, to Bieniemy and Ben, and put him in situations where he can really be good and really be effective. That's really kudos to a staff that's understanding the player's strength and just not using, okay, we're just going to use my scheme and make the player fit around my scheme instead of making the player the priority in the scheme. So, you know, that's really wonderful to see from a coaching staff that we didn't see from last season. They didn't really know how to do that, didn't care to do that, and didn't really understand how the ability to do it. So DeAndre Swift, has he been a revelation to you, or is just a product of the system? What do you think, Shad?
Again, first quarter of the season, I'm giving kudos to the coaching staff. Declan Doyle, Eric Bieniemy, the two guys that's influencing Ben Johnson on these game plans week to week over the last 2 weeks have shown a different commitment to the run game. I think with the injuries or the benching of Braxton Jones has forced them to rely on the run and situationally a little bit more than they probably would like. And because they haven't been as consistent,
what's the name up?
In terms of like being able to pass the ball consistently on third down, he's gone to the run or the ground game and they found their success. Darnell Wright coming back last week was huge. I think when Allen kept on talking, one of the key points that I kept hearing was hitting the holes. There were actually holes there. Drew Dahlman was getting pancakes after pancakes, and it was impressive to see that they actually matured in the run game in terms of being efficient with some of the things that worked early in the year, keeping the good things and getting rid of the terrible shit. You have to be able to adjust with your personnel on the fly in the middle of the season if you want to have a successful offense. And it's not to say that they're going to bury the power game in terms of 12 personnel, but they're not getting any action in the pass game. So a lot of teams is just stacking the box and they're having no success being able to run in between the tackles. So I think it's smart. I want to see it peel over to the pass game when you actually draw up some bootlegs for Caleb Williams to be on the move and then survey the field with the ball out of the pocket. Because for me, I think that's the next evolution step of 18, where we get to see some of that USC shit in the NFL. If you design runs like they did with Russell Wilson back in Seattle's heyday, when they had about 4 or 5 pocket moves or RPOs that were designed for passes, you saw deep vertical shots that were easily identified by the quarterback. And it's not to say that it was a limitation, but sometimes if you cut the field in half, you just let the talent be the talent. It gets real easy to be quarterback. So instead of being critical, I would like to see that evolution focus more towards the pass game.
Man, well said, man. Man, a smoke fest. But we got a comment from Donna Liv saying the coaching staff was put together with diligence and attention. These guys ready for the most part, it seems. They're ready for the most part, it seems. Yeah, week to week they seem to be ready. The mission is clear. So we're going to get into, I think Shad has some notes, man. I'm going to swing it over to Shad, man. And I think he has some notes about some stuff before I go to the second part of the show. So Shad, man, whenever you want to, start the notes, man, go ahead and do your thing, bro. And we can get into it, man. Whoever you want to, chime in, whatever the case may be, man, do your thing, bro.
Most definitely. It's a flip of a coin, man. I know I'm going to spark something at Allen real quick with these key points, man. Looking at the Saints, you had me thinking, gee, what's the importance of this game? Why is this something to kind of be focusing on other than the Bears should beat the shit out of the Saints? Number one, you want to see a pass rush this week. Against the offensive line is kind of average. Allen, are you not expecting the pass rush to have a bigger week, specifically our defensive ends? Also, CJ, this should be fun for you. If the takeaways have been 3 in a row, man, can they produce that with Rattler, who does not throw picks this week at home? Because to me, I'm looking at the turnover game, and at some point, the faucet going to get cut off. Can the defense still be great without taking the ball away? So I guess them the 2 main points I was looking for y'all to have a response on, specifically with this game. Because the Saints, they the middest team that you can look at right now. But for me, they offer you an opportunity to justify your defense in a certain spots that we might have question marks on. What y'all feel?
Allen, you can take off, big dog, man. You ain't spoken in a while, man. Do your thing, Allen.
Yeah, the defensive line, I think, is going to be all right. Right now, Austin Booker is still out, and I'm interested to see what we're going to do with that. I think Grady Jarrett's going to try to give it a go today from what I was looking at last night. The defensive line is key in the defensive approach. If they just stop the run, that's half the battle. Because if you're giving up big chunks of run plays, you're going to kind of wear down during the game, and that just crushes your whole defense. But I think stopping the run is our main focus. Getting to a quarterback is secondary right now because the run game is what can kill you. Passing can kill you too, but run game eats the clock. So that's what I would say. If we can focus more on the defensive play, defensive line is the I would say the heartbeat of the defense. It has to be the stout end of the team. So in and out of lineup by injuries and guys getting back, and we're playing guys that probably we wouldn't. I don't think they had an intention to play Turner this early. And no way we wanted him to defensive end this early. So kudos to Turner for getting on the field and managing what the coaching staff is asking of him. So I wish that we were healthy and we could bring him along a little slower, but that's just not how the NFL works sometimes. Sometimes you might have to play a different position in order to contribute. So the defensive line definitely has been shuffled around, but the key to that, we got to get Montez Sweat some easy rushes. Like, I want Coach Allen to kind of stunt more and slant. I don't think we slant enough. We put too much emphasis on stunting sometimes when we need to just slant and cut across the lineman's face and get downhill as linebackers. and that would shore up the run defense also. But in order to do that, your defensive ends have to be stout because they're going to be playing inside the tackle box, where the contain can get corroded if you're getting pushed down the field like Javon Dexter sometimes playing free safety. Slanting doesn't help. That's just running you into the damn coaching staff. So we got to stay in tune with what the players can do. But if we can ever incorporate the slanting, I think that's going to cover up a whole lot of stuff because slanting is a very, very good defensive scheme and their concept because it takes away the lineman's ability to get to the linebacker. So that's what I love is the slant part. But right now we got to have the personnel to do that.
So, Alan, just a quick rebut on what you said. Time of possession, the Bears 19th in the league with 30 minutes a game, right? That's a really good number for the defense getting you off the field or limited possessions for other teams. Right now, they're 27th in sacks. They only got 8 so far on the season. So, hopefully, you right about the formula, man, because I'm a little questionable in terms of why they made that decision to bring in Shamar Turner defensive end because they're looking for pass rush, bro.
Yeah.
And they need it soon because that number needs to jump higher. CJ, if you wanted to touch on the takeaway point, man, what you thought?
Turn your mic on, C.
Yeah, I'm gonna say definitely the defensive line is gonna play a key factor into and I definitely agree with Alan with the slant.
TJ Edwards had since he's returned. So honestly, man, having both of those guys in the middle of your defense, even though we lost Noah Sewell to concussion, he's not gonna play today. You know, I definitely expect those two dudes to keep it running with the front seven. The other 2 points for the keys of the game, Odunze or Olave. Both young receivers, man, can have impacts on this game, man. And I'm trying to figure out who are you expecting to have a bigger day? G, talk to me, man.
I'm expecting it to be, since we're home, we've been 2 weeks back-to-back on the road. I think it's going to be Odunze, man. I think Odunze, remember that he got a touchdown taken away from him last week for a stupid-ass whatever it was against the Commanders, man. They took a beautiful ball, a beautiful catch, and a beautiful touchdown from Rome Odunze. I think Rome Odunze is motivated. I think Caleb is going to be motivated to throw him the ball. I think it's going to be Rome. I see Rome coming out here, man, having almost 100 yards, and I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns. Olave, you know what I mean? I got to see. I think Dennis Allen, back to your defensive point, he's just going to start taking things away. What is the reason why this young man is throwing 68% completion? Why? Why is that even a thing? If I'm the defensive coordinator, that's my job to get you down to 59, 60%. He's going to have to take away one of his favorite targets and get him out of the game. Once we make Spencer Rattler one-dimensional, that's when you're going to see this defense start to eat. Because if I'm Dennis Allen, I'm not respecting, I'm going to respect this kid as much as I can, but I'm not going to respect him to the point to where I'm not going to be sending Kyler on the blitz, Edwards on the blitz. Like if there's a game where we're going to see the quarterback we're playing where Dennis Allen is going to actually get into his bag, it's going to be today. I think Rattler's in for a hell of a game, man. I think this is the game where we're going to see Dennis Allen say, "Fuck that, we're coming for you." But my receiver today is definitely going to be Rome. I just think he's motivated, man. I just think he's motivated. He's a big target, giant catch radius. They gypped him from a great touchdown last week, so I think it's going to be Rome. Olave, I know he's a good wide receiver, but I think we got guys that can kind of contain him. Once we take away the throwing lanes from Rattler, I don't think he'll have a good enough game to where he can be on par with a Rome, this big and physical that he is, man. He's farm strong, like Allen likes to talk about, man. He's farm strong, but that's a different type of strength right there, man. So I'm gonna go with Rome, man.
Yeah, points to prove for that, man. In terms of both of them being the number one true dimensional player for their team. Both leagues, both respective teams in yards and touchdowns. Even though Olave has only gotten the end zone once, the inconsistency at quarterback the first 4 weeks, I think, speaks to that, man. And the biggest question for me, I think, for the whole game, y'all, it really got me racking my brain. The matchup speaks to me to the point that Caleb Williams should have 4 touchdown passes today. That's what this matchup says to me. And
Okay.
I haven't seen it done yet, so it feels like I'm waiting on it to be done for me to really feel like I'm confident enough to say that this is the standard now. Because to me, when you see an average secondary in a team that struggles to get a pass rush, if you're successful with the run, you should be able to do what you want. And the head coaching staff understands this team probably a little bit more than other teams because Dennis Allen was just there. So, like you said, G, I'm ready to book 40 points in a burger today. Extra fries and mild sauce. It's all about Caleb, man. Tell me if y'all think I'm off base with the Caleb approach.
Go, Allen, whoever want to go. We don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shard, man. It's time for Caleb to have one of those games, man. Just a 4 touchdown or 5, however you want it. You know, it's just time for him to have a game, a click game. You know, it just pops off the page, and we can reference. You remember when Caleb threw for 4 touchdowns and 320 yards against the Saints?
Right.
That's what we need to have a reference point. So it's about time for that. So I agree with you totally.
Yeah, CJ, you can speak on it, man. On Shaw's point, I agree, man. It's just time because, like I said, we can't keep having these games where we're 25-24. We're going to have to see Caleb just come out there and give us 14, 2 touchdowns, and the field goal, 17 points, quick, bro. Like it's just going to add to more questions about his ability with everything around him. So if there's a statement game where he can put a feather in his hat as far as the quarterback and being home against an average defense the way it is, this is a game for him to quiet the critics, CJ, you know?
Yeah, well, fellas, I was just looking at a video with Cam and Rome getting some reps in. You know, so that was positive to see. So we may see, hopefully we see Caleb get some good passing yards today, connecting with his receivers today. So we need to see a complete game from Caleb. Now I don't want to put too much pressure on him already, but I think his play over the last couple of weeks has been getting to that point to where that breakout game can happen. You know, if we can see that game that he had in Buffalo during the preseason, where he was just throwing the ball and hitting the receivers, if we can see that from him today, the Bears gonna pull out a W today.
Yeah. So I know Shaw said he had one more point, right, Shaw?
No, man, the square point for me was just the advantage of the coaching staff today, man. When you look at on the sideline, these are the games where your coaching staff, you get to see it reflected in the game plan. I don't know if Allen want to touch on this, but I think early in the games when we used to talk about the script for Ben Johnson, so far it's been flawless. And I think that going up against a team that you have more talent than offensively, we should have one of those really, really early starts. And I don't know if I'm off with saying that, Allen. Do you think that this is the type of matchup that you should see some shot plays early? Because I think that that's the main tell for the game.
But have y'all noticed with Ben that each game has been a different plan? Like, you know, that's the thing I like about him. We don't see the same thing twice. So imagine what defensive coordinators are not seeing.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
You know, his mysticism is doing a really good job because it's like, damn, I don't know what Joker want to do. Okay, you know, I don't know if he's going to go 12 personnel or 13. He's going to give me a little bit of Durham Smythe, you know, where he's going to control the run game. So now that Washington game is on tape.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to probably say, you know what, I got to feed the football. So I think he's going to be a little bit enamored today, Shard. I think he's going to keep that football low today early. I think he's going to try to continue to press that running game so he can then set up these deep passes. And I expect a little bit more from Luther Burton because of DJ, man. DJ Moore, man. We'll talk about that in a little bit, man. But Luther Burton needs more time. And I feel like, to add to your point a little bit, once we get all that moving, we're going to be super attack football. And I think we're going to keep it on the ground a little bit more today, and then we're going to work down the field. I just think Ben wants to keep that running game going a little bit more so he can feel good about it, especially against the Saints. Let's go ahead and keep this establishment. Then I'll flip it up a little bit more.
Yeah, well said. Now, why it's fresh? Now, let's talk about DJ Moore, man, because Al, we talked about it in private chat.
I know.
We talked about it in the chat. It was like, man, this might come off as selfish, man. Like this might come off selfish. The man was pissing blood. Then I look up that he's going to be playing. This man got a healing factor like Wolverine or some shit, man. Like he just come back and be ready to play. And then on the flip side, I said, I don't know if I could be too mad about DJ Moore trying to play because Luther Burden is on his ass for that position, bro. Every time we see Luther Burden out there, he makes some type of splash play, some good ass catch, some crazy block. But that's just my perspective. But Allen, man, speak on your boy DJ Moore. Just your thoughts when you saw he might be playing like this. What was your thoughts when you saw that? We talked about it a little bit in the chat.
Yeah, DJ Moore. I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna have a ceasefire on DJ Moore. I'm gonna do a ceasefire on him for one reason, y'all. He's a tough SOB.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, man, we can say a lot of shit about DJ Moore, but weak and not tough ain't none of that. He's a tough hombre, man. And, but I would want DJ to sit out a couple, because that scares me when your internal organs are leaked. And football is one thing, but life is another. So I want him to kind of be made, but he's one of them kids he gonna jump off the monkey bars, man. Like if you don't tell him, look, you can't get on the monkey bars and jump. You got to stay on the ground with the rest of them. He's gonna jump off the monkey ball, and I don't want no fun about it. But that's what DJ Moore is. You got to save him from himself. And I think he's looking at it. Hey, he's a competitor, man. Mm-hmm. You know, the workforce is a competitive environment. When you become a man and an older adult, the workplace is not McDonald's. It's competitive everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So if I see that this guy gonna take my job, and he's gonna take the job eventually, but we're gonna hold off right now because I'm gonna come back out and play. So I just hope that he doesn't get hurt anymore. And this is football. And he could possibly get hurt some more. And that's going to get Luke on the field regardless. But it's a little bit of competitive edge that I can't let this little dude, I can't let him take my spot. And I got kids to feed, y'all. I got kids to feed. Talking like DJ Moore, I got kids to feed. So you can't take no food off my plate. So this is one of them things that we've seen it live and in color.
Yeah. Anybody can take off on this DJ Moore take, man. Like anybody, Shad, CJ, what's y'all thoughts on it, man? Because he active today, man. Ceasefire?
CJ, what you thinking? Because I'm going to tell you this, man. All I'm going to say is, Caleb, enough with the hospital balls, bro. enough with the hospital balls, bro. Can't be doing that to the brethren, man. Number two, too important, man. You know, and you got to look at it for what he's doing. It's going to send a message in the locker room for anybody to question his buy-in. You know, that's the toughest motherfucker on your team, man.
Period.
Ain't no doubt about it, bro. Like, a lot of times people talk about leadership and can't really measure it. When circumstances like this happen, you have a reference point when you talk about DJ Moore. And yes, statistically, it isn't what you expect from a $100 million receiver, but ask yourself this. When a defensive coordinator looks at this team and this roster, the first player they're looking at offensively is two. So we're going to keep it a buck, and I'm going to keep it cool with him. I hope we get two of them things today.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
but
man.
Luke is coming regardless, G. Luke
is
coming regardless.
Luke coming.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time with his ass. He's a firecracker, bro. Like every time I see him, he's young. He can run routes. You can throw him deep passes. You can run him short passes. He know how to get the in-between yards after the catch. He know how to block. Like I said, the first time I saw him flash on screen, I said this in the offseason, they're going to start making plans to get DJ Moore the hell up out of here. Despite how we're going to feel, because one, he's a $100 million wide receiver. He's going to be wanting more money. So it's one of them situations where it is, but you do got to give him his flowers for one being a competitor. Like you have to do that, man. That'll be something I would do. Like I don't give a damn. My pinky toe finna fall off. I'm gonna be out here and compete with this young boy who's gonna get my spot. So I get that. But on the flip side, Luther Burton's coming. He's coming, bro.
He's coming.
And shout out to DJ Moore because I played against the Saints. I did a simulation on Madden. DJ Moore had four touchdowns on that video that I posted. And look, he was killing whatever them secondary. And that's what we're saying about Caleb Williams should dominate this game today, man. He should really dominate this defense today. We should see this offense clicking. We're home. We haven't been at Soldier in a while. Like, we really need to click. We cannot sputter on offense today, man. I'm trying to see 17 and maybe even points in the first half, man. But shout out to DJ Moore for being a competitor, man. Like everybody said, we hope you don't get hurt anymore, man, because, you know, health is wealth, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Still got a lot of football left to play. So I would hate to see him actually hurt himself even more, man. But we do got a great insurance policy. That insurance policy is a bad motherfucker, boy. Luther Burton, you are something else, dog. Like, I ain't gonna done. Bro, that was a hell of a draft pick by Ben Johnson, because I'm not going to give credit to Ryan Poles for that. Not at all. I ain't doing that. So, with that being said, man, let's get ready to wrap this thing up, man. We're going to talk about Dennis Allen real quick in his defense, man, CJ, and just what's your expectation? You know, is there anything he could be better at as far as today? This is his old team. You know what I'm saying? He was with them. He knows them very well. He should know what this offense is. He should know everything. We should be walking in straight, pure domination against a trash mid-ass quarterback like Spencer Rattler. But CJ, man, what can he do better with the limited options that he has as a pass rush to rattle Spencer Rattler and us to force turnovers, man? Because he's doing the best he can, man. These guys are coming out getting turnovers every game. I don't know. Yeah. Outside of look, there's no pass rush on this team, and we're damn near leading the league in turnovers, bro. So I don't know if I can say anything. Well, it's the team that the defense needs to do, man. But CJ, just what do you think, though, man?
I don't want to say should he blitz more in this game. I've been kind of iffy about that. Should he blitz? Or he shouldn't.
Is he throwing a lot of flats? Right. Is he throwing down the seam to his tight ends? Is he throwing a lot of digs to the wide receivers? Where that's the dig route is the ultimate zone killer and cross. So is he accurate on them throws, or we're gonna just say, okay, you know what? We're gonna play base, and we're gonna see what he gives us the first drive. Allen's probably been playing with a lot of stuff in his head about this matchup, because Spencer Rattler, with that completion percentage, I'm betting you he spends a lot of time throwing the football to the outside, and he's working the running back in the passing game, because Alvin Kamara is a hell of a passing receiver for a running back.
There you go.
I think that's where he's going to probably lean on early in the game, because the only guy that I can feel like that can cover him will be Tremaine. Tremaine can kind of move around swiftly with the running back with his athleticism. But, you know, they might come after Edwards. Edwards is not really good in the pass. Not man. He's a good zone linebacker, but man, he gets his feet crossed up a little too much. So I think Allen's gonna try to make sure he hides Edwards closer to the line of scrimmage and focus more on Tremaine getting the flats and playing on the outside, and making sure that when the Saints are making their passes, make him work the ball down the middle or the seam where you got the height, you got Brisker, and you got Bayer that are really good inside the hashes as safeties. They're really violent safeties, and they're good players against taking away the middle of the field and making you work the edge of the field. And right now, Nashawn Wright is
level, man, and I need somebody knocked around with those navy blue jerseys on this week. I need some head knocking today. So Brisker, come on downhill, please. Bayard, come on, please come on down. Please.
Yeah.
And you draw one loose early, then the floodgates could open. But I need some physicality from that back seven today.
Man, well said, man. And with that, man, we've covered Caleb Williams, what he needs to be better today, intermediate throws, layups, deep passes, whatever. He just needs to had that breakout game. We want more answers than questions, bro. We don't want to start to where we're gonna have to doubt you, man, because I really got a lot of faith in Caleb Williams. I think he's gonna be a great quarterback. This is the first year under a new offense with Ben Johnson. The offensive line has gotten better. We got to stop the penalties, but if there's any clouded judgment on Caleb right now, man, as far as the percentage, 61%, that's really not good. So I want to see him actually kill that narrative today and come out here with at least 64%, 65% completion rate. We talked about Ben Johnson, and this is something that I talked about maybe a couple of weeks ago, and Allen pretty much spoke with it like, bro, we don't know what he's going to do out there today, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know what he's going to attack because it's week to week. It's not like we would have even Eberflus where we were forcing 10 throws to DJ, forcing 7 throws to Cole Kmet, and the defense just sent back there knowing what's coming. And then we really can't. So shout out to Ben Johnson, shout out to Allen for saying that, because I think that's what we have in the head coach and the play caller. Like, he's gonna just play to the strengths of what, or the weaknesses the defense is going to give him. So he's going to stay with that run game, and Caleb just has to make the throws, make the layups, connect on open wide receivers, bro. Don't be the reason why this offense starts to sputter, man. Don't do it. Then we talked about DeAndre Swift, man, and how Allen was pretty much saying that he's been used the right way. Shaw saying he's used the right way. Eric Bieniemy's been a hell of a running back coach, man. He's getting them right, getting the most out of this guy that we really need him to be, because I don't think Ben Johnson really has a running back that he really wants in this offense. So the fact that he's pretty much solid for the first 5-6 games, this team is really, and this culture is really building into belief. Everybody believes, everybody's bought in. Everybody trusts everybody, and we're starting to see that in the win column. So everybody is doing their thing, man. Talked about Dennis Allen, man, and what he needs to do as far as more stunts and making sure that we're tackling well. LaShaw pretty much brought that up, and Allen brought that up, that we got to make sure we got some safeties coming down. We got violent hitters. Like I said, if there's ever been a game to where this defense is going to eat against a quarterback that most people are writing off already, this is the game. We can't be embarrassed by this young man at all, man. We need to win. So with that being said, we're going to get into the last part of the show, man. We're going to start talking about the score of the game, who we think is going to win, the MVPs, offense, defense, X factors, blah, blah, blah. So with that being said, we're going to start off with the OG Allen, man. Just what's the score of the game, Allen? Who's your offensive MVP, defensive MVP, man? What we doing, bro?
Well, I think it's going to be a 34-21 Bears. I think we're going to jump on them early, and I think we're going to kind of let them get a couple cheap touchdowns. But I think it's going to be 34-21. My offensive player of the game, I think this week, I'm going to give it to Colston Love. I think they're going to try to work the inside of the field. I don't know exactly because of Ben Johnson. I'm just going to try to get in front of the curve with him. Pause, but I'm going to try to get in front of it, and he's going to go after the tight end today. So the defensive side of the ball, I'm gonna give it to Montez Sweat. I think Montez Sweat gonna have a good game today. I think he's tired of hearing everybody talk about it. I think it's Montez Sweat.
I'm gonna say the offensive MVP in this game will be wrong. I'm gonna say on defense it's gonna be I'm gonna give it to Jermaine Evans. I don't know. That's just what my gut's been telling me. The game, I'm gonna say Bears. Bears gonna win by 7. I'm gonna say 35-28.
Okay, and I guess it's on me, man. I guess my offensive MVP today is gonna be Caleb Williams, man. I think he's just really gonna have a complete game. I think he's due for that. I really think he's due. I think he's gonna give us 4 touchdowns. So I got the score 28-17. Bears. My defensive MVP, I'm gonna give it to Tariq Stevenson. Come on, Tariq. I think Tariq is gonna come out here and put on the show today. And that's it, man. I think we all got the Bears. Everybody on the panel picked. We all picked the Bears to win. That's 4-0. It should be an easy win. I didn't have the final injury report. I couldn't get that in time. But these are the picks from the national media. Everybody on here picked the Bears to win today, man. Everybody picked the Bears to win today. They tried to put the juju on us, Shaw. They tried to put that juju on us today, man. I ain't never seen it like this. We got somebody called B. Brooks, 21.
Bucky Brooks, man. It ain't right,
Bucky,
man.
yeah.
come on, man. Look, out of rank. Look, first of all, I don't appreciate everybody jumping on the wagon this week because they understand how mojo works. But you know what? I ain't gonna let that shit happen this week. We're not gonna let that bullshit drive. I'm gonna pour a beer early so this does not rub off on the Bears, okay? Hope y'all do the same.
Yeah, man. So this is what it's looking like. We got Gordon. We got 25-24, 23-19. These are close scores, man. For some reason, they're giving this a close game. Damn, I don't see that. I don't see it being close at all. But this is what the game picks are for the national media, man. But with that being said, man, we're gonna get out of here. It's 11:30, man. This has been going on for about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. So with that being said, man, I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast. That's CJ, the CNG Podcast. That's Shy from the Southside Shy Sports, man. And then we got the OG Allen, man. So with that being said, we out of here. Bear down. If we win, if the fellas are up for it, we'll come in here for a post-game show. And it'll be an early one, man, because it's not a night game. So if the fellas are up for it, I'm up for it. With that being said, we out of here. Bear down. Enjoy the game. We out. Peace.